Welcome back to Endless Journeys. This is our question of the week, where we will tackle real questions from vet tech entrepreneurs navigating business, burnout, and building something of their own. Let's dive in. All right. So we did get a review. We kind of got a review. We got a really nice comment, which to us was kind of like a review, but it was a comment on our imposter syndrome episode, which I will say, even just with our stats, that episode is really popular. A lot of people are really liking that episode. And just from what I've heard, even just people I know, they said that that's one of their favorite episodes, is the imposter syndrome episode that we recorded. But we got a comment on Facebook from Bree. She had written, I had this episode saved for a month before I finally had the chance to listen, and I'm so glad I kept it on the list because, wow, this was such a motivating and inspiring conversation. Thank you for sharing your perspectives on a topic that so many of us struggle with on the daily. And I totally related to Jen's story about the pictures. I've always been too hard on myself about these little things too. So yeah, it was very nice to see that. I think even just the fact of uh, that she said it was such a motivating and inspiring conversation. And, of course, it's somebody related to what we were talking about. One of my really good friends was at my house when I first read it. And and I was telling her, and she was like, "Oh, is that's the imposter syndrome episode?" And I said, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, that's one of my favorites." She's like, "I loved that episode." She's like, "It was great. It's literally one of my favorite episodes." So,
Oh, I love that. And the
mhm.
imposter syndrome episode, that's the one I look back and I'm like, oh God, I was like, I really put myself out there. So it's kind of uncomfortable for me to go back and listen to
Yeah, I
because I
mean, that we
just,
were we were
oh,
really you have to be really
open.
vulnerable and open, yeah,
Yeah.
when you're talking about things like that. But people like that. People like the real and the raw, and I mean, people just want to find something to relate to, in all honesty. And
Yeah.
every single one of us in VetNet, we all have something to relate to, whether you're a technician or an assistant or a CSR or a veterinarian. I mean, we all have imposter syndrome. I mean, even in general, with anything, you have imposter syndrome. So I'm glad that that seems to be a favorite.
Me too. Yeah. And it's hard because I feel like when you have imposter syndrome, you feel like you're the only one who has it, but I think
Right.
everybody else has it. And yeah, it's there
Right.
like big time. Yeah. But no,
Yeah.
that comment, yeah, when I saw that, it meant a lot to me. So I'm like, I think we're actually, yeah, like you said, we're reaching people.
Hmm.
Well, there's so many good podcasts out there, but we're just simply not like those polished podcasts. Like I feel like me and you, we're just flying by the seat of our ass sometimes, and we just go with the flow and we just say whatever's on our mind
It's just a
versus
real conversation.
yeah, exactly. Somebody said real people getting real shit done, which I thought was really cool. It's actually one of the girls from the association.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. Me and you've been talking to her a lot. You probably know who I'm referring to without me saying their name, but
Hmm.
yeah, she said real people getting real shit done. So that meant a lot to me. And it's like, yeah, I think we are pretty real, and not to say that others aren't, but you can tell they're very polished and poised and professional and put together. And then I'm over here like, I got brain fog. You
Yeah,
over
I
here
mean,
like I
that's
got
when
brain
you're like, "Oh,
fog.
but you're so professional," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Really? I don't know. I just know, like, we're just here. We're just having a real conversation about the struggles, because it's a
Yeah.
struggle.
That's a struggle,
It's
man.
It's a struggle. That's why people don't last long in it." and
I know.
and I think that episode really talks about that too, a lot of why people don't last very long in the field. So yeah, we just wanted to say thank you, Bree,
Yeah.
for that
Thank you.
comment. It really meant a lot to us.
Yes,
I
thank
love
you.
that feedback.
Me too. Thank you. So for our question of the week, I pulled this one from the Unattached Vet Tech group on December 28th. And this one's very simple, but I thought it was a good one because I feel like a lot of techs might start off doing this when they do mobile care. The person wrote, hello, everyone. Does anyone use a bag on wheels? Currently, I have one that I carry, but looking for other options. Thank you. So I actually had a bag on wheels for a little while. I actually had a suitcase that I was using for maybe 3 months, and it was in the midst of my business. So maybe like 2 years in, I was like, oh, let me just get a suitcase at this point because I started off with a fanny pack and I started evolving, bringing this, bringing that, bringing this, bringing that to where I upped myself into a suitcase. The problem is with bags on wheels, number one, you have to carry them in and out of the car. That's going to hurt your back after a while.
Mm.
Then you have to carry them up and down driveways. You have to drag them through the snow, the ice, the heat. And if people have like stairs, like I have some clients who live like on hills with like these stairs that I barely can walk up on, let alone carry a suitcase on. So I personally don't recommend suitcases for that fact, because after a while you're gonna get sick of lugging that thing around. Because I did, that suitcase lasted maybe 3 months. Like some clients remember as like the flash in the pan of like, oh, she tried that and it doesn't. But and actually, if I remember, I will put them in the show notes. I actually get, I think they're called Train makeup cases. I got them from Amazon, and each service that I provide has its own bag. So that way I'm not carrying a lot of stuff in the house.
Oh,
I got
nice.
I got a nail bag, I got an anal bag, I got a teeth and ears bag, I got a potty patch bag, and then I got what I call my general bag, which holds like brochures, flyers, my business cards, paper towels. I have a portable trash can in there even to clean up after myself. So that way I got like one big, like almost baby bag.
Hmm.
And then whatever service I'm going into the house for, I bring in that little bag. Oh, and I have a designated treat bag too. Yeah, one that's just for treats. So I have 5 or 6 altogether, and I just open up my hatchback. I know what I'm going in for. I know what bags to grab. That way it's minimal and I'm not breaking my back carrying a suitcase in and out of, like, let's face seeing 8 to 12 appointments a day. Like, I don't want to haul shit around with me all day.
Right.
Right. So that's what
So
I
it
was
sounds like a
thinking.
good idea at first, but
It does.
eventually it's just too much
You're right.
all at
It
one time.
is. It is too much, especially if you only need a few items. There's
Yeah.
no reason to haul in the
And then if you
entire.
know who needs what, then you
Mhm.
can just reorganize all that into each client, is what you're saying?
Kind of, yeah. So even for some clients where I know their dog has food allergies, so they don't use my treats, or the dog just doesn't like treats, or it's a cat that doesn't take Churu. I only bring in one bag. I just bring in my itty bitty nail bag that has everything I need for the nail trim. And so I won't even need to bring the treat back in. So it's very narrowed down to what I bring in. I think a lot of it is you got to have room in your car, which is why I have an SUV. I have an Equinox, and it's basically my work setup is in the back of it. Now I can just grab what I want. Again, especially once you know the clients, like, oh, I just need this and this, and you walk in the house.
No, that's nice.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes
So,
sense.
but it didn't make sense when I was like, oh, let me try the suitcase. Let me put all
Yeah,
these
like,
cool
it
vet
sounds like
med
a good
stickers on it.
idea,
Yeah.
but then, like, you're right, like, that ma yeah, then when you said all those things, that yeah, I can see that.
So yeah, I'll put those in the show notes for everybody. The ones I use, I'm not endorsed by them. They're just what I like, and I'll tell you what, they last a long time. Each one of my bags I've had for like 3 years now, I want to say, and I've had big heavy labs like trample all over them. They've gone through a lot, and they still last. So I'll
Nice.
make sure to put that in the show notes because for like $20, they're gonna last you for a long time.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Endless Journeys, the VetTech Odyssey podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and found some valuable insights. If you did, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave us a review and let us know what you think. You can also connect with us on all social media platforms at Endless Journeys, the VetTech Odyssey podcast. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep making a positive impact in the veterinary world. We need you guys. Have a great day.